Hey. Okay, so there's something I realized about X, and I actually kind of wanted to make a little video on it. Now, we all know the classic, the cliffhanger at the end of Xenoblade X. If it wasn't obvious, spoilers for this video. So I'm gonna play the clip real quick, so if you haven't beaten the game yet, then you can stop here. But we all know the classic cliffhanger at the end of Xenoblade X.
It's this planet. It's something about this planet.
And I actually have a little headcanon for this. So obviously, Elma and the crew they find the Lifehold core and they go into the data room where all of the data for the humans are held, all the bodies and the consciousness and whatever. If you think about it, it's kind of a lot like Nier, where in the original Nier with Project Gestalt of transporting all the human souls into their replicants, basically mimiosomes. So I like the connection between them. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's something I noticed. But you know, the whole data room is destroyed, which is, you know, very confusing because the data room is destroyed. Humanity should be extinct right now, because without that data room and the human bodies, the mimiosomes would have died. You know, they won't be able to function because their bodies are dead. And Elma says it's something about this planet. And I actually have a headcanon for this. Now, this may be overplayed, and this may not be anything new. This may be something everyone thought of. But my headcanon is that the reason why everyone's still alive and it's not actually the planet is that the Zohar is there, buried somewhere within Mira. And Mira is like buried down in the planet or even in the Lifehold core somewhere. And that's what's keeping everyone alive. That would also explain the weird properties Mira has, like auto-translating language. So, because obviously the Manon would not speak English. The Manon, the Ganglion, all of them speak different languages. But it sounds like English to us, or the party members, because Mira auto-translates. And that's just kind of weird. But it's also doesn't really make sense because Napon still sound the same. So if you think about it, Napon would sound similar to us, or would sound exactly like us, considering actually no, because the Napon already kind of speak English in the series. Never mind, ignore that last part I just said. But yeah, I think at least my headcanon for the sequel of Xenoblade X, if that ever does happen, Elma in the party, maybe we get a new party, maybe it's the same party. I don't really see why we would get a new party, but new game, new party maybe. But in the sequel, the main story of the game would be to travel down into Mira through like some cave system and travel into the planet to find the Zohar. Maybe they get some like strange energy reading coming from deep down in the planet, so they set out on an expedition to uncover that. And near the end of the game, or maybe as like a little post-credit scene, they finally find out that the energy source was the Zohar after all, and that's what was keeping everyone alive and running the planet, I guess. And then that could maybe lead into a Xenoblade X3. I really doubt that they would go any further than a 2, but that would be hella dope. Alright, that would be really dope to see, because Mira is a weird ass planet. It's got all this different shit going on that doesn't really make any sense. And it's not on any star chart either, which Oma also tells us. Mira isn't on any star chart either. And don't you think it's kind of funny coincidence maybe that the ghosts just so happened to shoot the white whale down over Mira? So Mira has some type of something going on, alright? It's not on a star chart, it's got all these weird properties. The ghosts wanted humanity to land on Mira, so maybe it has something to do with the Zohar, and the Zohar is the reason why the planet's all screwy. Or maybe the Samarians? Maybe the Samarians are alive and they're down like deep within Mira with the Zohar? Or something to do with the Samarians, and the Samarians were using the ghosts to bring them to Mira or something? I don't know. I really do hope in the X sequel, if we do get it, that they will expand upon the Samarians and kind of give us a little origin story of them. Maybe X2 will be like a prequel and that gives us an origin story of the Samarians leading up to the events of X, because by this point X might as well be its own little mini series in Xenoblade, because it's not really connected to 1, 2, or 3 in any way at all. Not even in like, oh, it's a little pocket dimension like Xenoblade 1 and 2, because from what I know and could tell, X doesn't really have any connections to the rest of the series. So I don't know, but yeah, it'd be really cool if the sequel, the party, you know, got a strange energy reading down deep within the planet, so they, you know, set out on an expedition into the planet to figure out what that is, and they eventually discover the Zohar or the Samarians. That would be pretty cool. Like, at least expand on Mira and tell us about it, because it's a really weird planet. So I want to learn more about Mira and what's going on, and that cliffhanger. Also that other cliffhanger with Lao on the beach and that black figure. Who is that? Was that Elma's partner when, you know, when they were on Earth and they were fighting in the skulls? Is said that Elma's partner died during combat, but maybe he didn't die and he faked his death, or it was a cover-up for something, and he's gonna play a big role in the X sequel and has something to do with Lao. Maybe Lao is a Samarian and he was just disguising himself as a Mimiazone. That would be kind of dope. Maybe Elma's partner is a Samarian, and so him and Lao are both Samarians, and they're like doing some fuck shit. I don't know, I don't know. I think it said Samarians are like long extinct, but maybe that's also Cap to like hide some kind of something, or maybe a couple Samarians kind of survived under the radar. There's just so many different possibilities for an X sequel, and like all these different things you can put into it. Maybe expand more on the races, like Chlorians. Celica is the only Chlorian character we see in the entire game, so maybe you can expand upon Chlorians more. Maybe we finally learn about what Elma is, like what her race is, her like true alien form, you know, learn what she is, because she's clearly not Chlorian, so she's something different. Figure out how Elma knows about the alien attack and all this other information. Expand on El's race a little bit more, maybe the Manon and all the others. Maybe we get like Rothian backstory, something, bruh. There's just so much shit they could expand upon in a Xenoblade X sequel. There's just so much. And I just remembered, even the life holds themselves that hold the bodies, the Mimiazones or whatever, they're in the shape of a Zohar. They're in like the shapes of Zohars. So that's not just a coincidence. Obviously, for like gameplay purposes, that's like a little reference to the Zohar or conduit, whatever. But like in lore, what's the in-lore reason that they're shaped like the Zohar? Because like I said in previous videos, Takahashi doesn't do coincidences, alright? That means something. The Zohar has to be an X. Alright, the conduit slash Zohar has been a massive part in every single game in the entire series. Xenogears, it's one of the main focuses. The entire Xenosaga series, it's one of the main focuses. The entirety of the Xenoblade series started or even happened because of the Zohar, when Klaus used the Zohar to reset the universe, set the whole series in motion. So the entire series minus X. All right, I find it very hard to believe that they just made Xenoblade X without any type of relation to the Zohar at all. It has to be like a part of it somehow, some way. All right, it's such a huge part of the entire series that there's no way they didn't just remove it from X. It has to be in there somehow, whether it be a sequel or whatever. Right? X is such like a black sheep, such an oddball, an outlier in the entire series, and there's obviously a reason for that. Takahashi and Monolith pay very, very close attention to detail, and they're so like intricate and careful and detailed with how they make this series that they wouldn't just do random shit. They made X such an outlier for a reason, and I want to know what that is. Maybe Xenoblade X truly is the Xenoblade 10 and we're just building up to that, okay? I don't know, but there's so many different possibilities for an X sequel that it's just insane. All right, I could go on and on for what I want to see in an X sequel. Oh, it could be like this, it could be like this, what about this and that? Already gave a ton of examples already, so hey, maybe when we get an X sequel, some of that stuff will be true. My biggest hope, I guess, for an X sequel is that the Zohar will somehow be included, or may even be the main driving force of the game. Like I said, the party goes down into Mira and discovers the Zohar, maybe with a whole like underground city of Samarians living there, and they're using the Zohar's power to keep themselves alive and their city running, and maybe they're controlling Mira themselves with the Zohar. I don't know how that would work, but that'd be kind of dope, wouldn't it? So yeah, hopefully we get more background on Elma and like her race and why she's so special, and just bigger expansion on all the different races and just Mira itself. I guess that's the main thing. I just want to learn more about Mira itself and why it's so weird. It's almost like it's sentient, alright? And maybe that's because of the Zohar, who knows? The Zohar has to be implemented in X some way, somehow. There's no way it's just this one game in the entire meta series that has nothing to do with the Zohar. I find that hard to believe, especially since the life holds are in the shape of Zohars. So hey, I don't know, there's so much shit for an X sequel, but I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, I just kind of want to make a short little video talking about that because I'm gonna think about it all day. I've just been grinding out Xenoblade X, trying to beat it. So I still haven't beat Xenoblade X. I'm like 100 some hours in and I still haven't beaten it. Damn near max level, still haven't beaten it. I've just been doing a shit ton of side quests and just side content. But yeah, the ending of Xenoblade X, I'm looking forward to it. I'm at chapter 10, I think, so only got like 2 chapters left and then I'm done. But yeah, god, Xenoblade X sequel is so needed because that cliffhanger was massive. Biggest cliffhanger I've ever seen in like any type of media. It was stupid. Obviously the sequel is going to expand on Mira because there's no way they're just going to end it off like that. So after the success that Xenoblade's been having, Monolith has noticed, I know they have, alright, after the DLC story Wave 4 of Xenoblade 3 that's dropping literally on the last day of this year, December 31st. Maybe we'll get like a Xenoblade X sequel in 2025 at the latest, maybe 24, but hopefully 25. Maybe they'll announce it in the 2024 February Direct, and then, you know, right after, like a month or two after DLC Wave 4 drops for Xenoblade 3, and then they drop Xenoblade X sequel in 2025. That would be, or 25. That would be so dope. That would be so dope. So hey, maybe we'll get an X sequel, because Takahashi did say in an interview he wanted to make Xenoblade 3, which has already happened, a Xenoblade X sequel, and then a brand new IP. So we already got the Xenoblade 3, so we're getting the X sequel next, and I'm so looking forward to it. But yeah, that's really about it for this video. I'm just geeking. But as always, thanks for watching. Have a damn good day. Stay safe. Be well. And play them goddamn Xenoblade.